I think all students should have access to a second language. It is a human right. If you are a native English speaker or just learning English, you should be supported in all areas of academia. My child, who has only known English, deserves a chance to learn another language so that they are able to have more opportunity in their life. It is required by law to have support for ELL students, but why not kill two birds with one stone? Why not have a program that supports the ELL students and provide more for native-speaking students? I think a great program to address this is the dual language program. In a program like this, half the instruction is in English and half is in another language, say Spanish. All students in a dual language class benefit from meaningful, challenging, and accelerated, not remedial instruction. This program is not like a regular bilingual program. It benefits every student. Depending on what the instruction the curriculum is being taught in, the student is both a teacher and a learner. Students are not singled out for not knowing something because each child is learning while another is an expert. You give all students a chance to feel like they are knowledgeable experts while feeling like they are learning and moving forward. I took Spanish but did not retain any of it. I want my child to be able to speak in a language and communicate through a conversation, not just a basic, "Hi, how are you doing?" statement. An hour a day when students are past the age of learning language easily is not effective. We should begin when students are young and immerse them in the language and culture while not abandoning the English language that everyone should learn. By using this dual language program, there is a balance between learning English and learning another language. Freeman and Freeman state, "It seems logical that the best way to develop English proficiency is to immerse learners in an environment in which they hear, speak, read, and write English all day." I would challenge that the same is true for learning another language. The best way to learn any language is to be immersed in it. So if we immerse our students half time in one language and half in another, they will successfully develop proficiency in both languages. Statistics suggest that the demographics of the United States are shifting. It is estimated that by the year 2050, white Americans will make up 47% of the population and Latinos 29%. The gap is closing, so our native-speaking students should be able to communicate with their peers, but their peers should also be able to communicate in English as well. Yet our schools are not reflecting this. I think our school and our school district should get ahead of the game and get started on an effective bilingual program, like the dual language program. Students will not only be learning another language, but also be learning about others and having others learn about them. To build a community, especially a community that works together and respects one another, needs to be mindful of other backgrounds. By learning a language, native English speakers, like my student, get to learn about other cultures. I want my student to be a well-rounded person, and what better way to do this than to immerse them with people from another culture? You cannot learn a language without learning its culture, people, and origin. Otherwise, there will be a disconnect. Furthermore, my student deserves to achieve greatness, despite whatever barriers may be involved. Research supports this for ELL students, but I found research that supports native speakers. Thomas and Collier comment that in Houston, in 2000, native English speakers who had been in the program for 4 years scored between the 63rd and 70th percentiles in total reading, whereas the scores of English native speakers hovered around the 50 percentile. If this was just in 4 years, imagine what the scores would reflect in the years after that if we continue with the program. Only great things can come from something like this. According to Freeman and Freeman, research has shown that it takes from 5 to 7 years for ELLs to reach native-like proficiency in an academic language. If we begin students in a dual language program from the start of their schooling, by the time they move on to middle school, they should be proficient in 2 languages, English and Spanish. We have already wasted a lot of time by not having support of a bilingual program in our schools, so why waste more time and prevent students from exploring their full potential by keeping a program like a dual language immersion program out of our school? I want my students to be multilingual, and I know that I'm not the only parent who agrees. So let's get going and start implementing this in our schools.